In today's video, I'm going to show you how Avue works. From the first moment you open the app, what you do, how you get started. We open up the app, you log in, there's nothing in there yet. So the first thing you want to do is add a folder to let Avue index it so that you can search it in the way that Avue allows you to. So you select the folder, and then you'll see it starts to retrieve all the images which are in the folder. Once it's retrieved all the images that are in those folders, it will start to index it. You'll see how many images are remaining, how many images it's processing per minute, and you will see how many minutes or how many seconds are remaining until it's finished indexing all those images. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to fast forward. But normally, depending on your hardware, because it's a local app, this would take roughly, let's say, 1,000 images per minute. So once it's done, you'll see you have the folders available. And when we open a folder, you'll see all the images which are in those folders become available in a grid. And what we can then do without having any preparation, without having to manually set any metadata, without having to provide tags or tell Avue what these images are, we can search these based on meaning. So for example, we can search for two birds sitting on a wooden surface, and we would get results that are closely matching that description. Two birds sitting on a branch, we'd still get those similar results unless there's results which are better for that description. But it just goes to show that you don't need exact wordings to get the exact results. It just has to have the same meaning. We can then open that image and we can reveal that image in Explorer. So if you're looking for a specific image and you want to have the actual source, then you can do that in this manner. Very easy, very straightforward. You can also use this image in search. So if you want to find similar results, you can use it in your search and it will find all the images that are similar to the one that you put in. You can also grab an image which is not in your collection and drag it into Avue and find similar results to the image you dragged into Avue. We dragged in an image of a bird and it will find images that are similar to it. So birds. What we can also do is group images based on semantics, so based on meaning. In this case, we are in the movie folder and we decide to group semantically. And here you see that it makes groups based on the meaning of these images. So the first one is women in fancy dresses. The second one is movie theaters and snacks in movie theaters. And the third one is images of lenses and similar. So if you do ever need to cluster your images into groups very quickly without any guidance, Avue can cover you in that part. So just to show you the real power of Avue, let's search for something like abstract art. And this will yield results which show you abstract art. But if you want to get more specific, you can say with blue tints. And it will show you abstract art with blue tints. And if you want to get even more specific, you can say that looks like waves. And you will get abstract art that looks like waves, which is blue. And we can get even more specific. So let's say in stormy weather. And you would get all that, including the stormy weather. So depending on your needs, you can get very specific or very generic, and you will get images that fit your description perfectly. Now, let's say that you want to organize some images into a group that you know you can persist. We can use collections for that. So we can create a new collection. In this case, let's call it abstract art inspiration. And now we can search for that abstract art. We can drag it into that collection, and then it's saved for whenever we come back to it and we want to work on that collection. Another great feature in Avue is processing faces, so facial recognition. We go up to the process button in the right top corner. We click on process faces, and then we confirm that we want to process all the images in our current view for faces. It will start to process all the images that we have in our current view. The first one takes a little bit longer because it has to load the model, but you'll see that all the other ones go very, very quickly. Once it's done, we can see the results. Some images have actual faces detected, and we can rename these faces to, the actual people that are in the image. So for example, Frank. So let's rename two of these images. And what we can then do is use this as a filter for our search. So let's use Frank as an example for this filter. And we could search for something like holiday summary day, and it will get all the images of Frank and show them to us based on relevance for our query. So we can search for anything else like winking at the camera, and we would get the other image first. Or red glasses, and we would get the one with the red glasses. Or clear blue sky, and we'd get the one with the clear blue sky. Depending on what you need in terms of images of Frank, you can search for whatever you need, and you would go to the images of Frank based on the relevance of your query. Another great feature is sorting. So in Organize, we have sorting sessions, and let's create a new one called Avue Demo. And let's select some source folders that we want to use. So all the images in these folders we will use for the sorting session. And let's create some topics. So let's create a topic called Blue Abstract Art. We'll select some images to, let Avue know what we're actually looking for. It's optional, but it's recommended. We'll do another one called Orange Abstract Art. We'll also select some example images here. Let's create one more, which is, a little bit different. Call this one Street Food. And again, we'll select some example images to let Avue know what we're looking for. So once you're all happy with the source topic definitions and the source folders, you'll click on Classify Images into Topics, and it will take all the images in that source folder, and it will sort these automatically into the topics that you have provided. So you'll see Blue Abstract Art has all these images of Blue Abstract Art, same for Orange Art, and the same for Street Food, which contains all kinds of food images. You can then go on to refine these results. So you can drag images into other topics, or you can delete them from a topic. You also have these suggested, which suggests images which aren't sorted yet, but are in your source folders, which you can then approve into the topic that you currently have open. And you also have the unassigned topic, which is basically the collection of all the images which aren't assigned yet into a topic. And here you can either take the topic suggestions, which are collections of images in the unassigned, or you can sort these images manually yourself. Once you're all said and done, you can export the results that you have into your actual file system, which will copy the images from the origin into the new location so that you have these images also sorted on your system. So not only in the virtual environment of Avue, but also on your system itself. This was a walkthrough of the core features of Avue. Have fun using Avue and getting more use out of your image library.